Can you all hear me? Can you just type in the message window if you can hear me? Okay, awesome. Great. So, welcome and thank you for joining. It's my first live Instagram video and it's called It's Alright. I'm just gonna wait for a few more minutes before we can start so that we have some more people join in, and we have a guest today, a guest writer who I'm going to invite. Thank you. Hi, Dia. Thank you for joining. Alright, I'm just waiting for a few more people to join in, and we will have Sita joining in very soon. I'm just gonna go ahead and try adding Sita here. Hi, Sita. Alright. Hello, Priyanka. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so all right, so Sita, I will add you to this. You don't have to call the way you're trying to call. I will go ahead and add you to this live chat. So give me just a minute. Hi, Cindy. Okay. Sita, are you still with me? I think you dropped off. Okay, Sita is facing some kind of technical challenges, so we're just waiting for her to join in. So sorry about this. We're just waiting. Hi, Vinish. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Anand. Thank you for joining in.
Me that I am inspiring them to write. So that's my greatest gift that I have got from this whole experience. That I have sort of convinced people that anybody can write. So that's my biggest takeaway here.
That's great. Sita, again, I think I'm facing some technical issues and I just cannot see you.
Oh, I cannot also see you. I think I need to join again.
Yeah, maybe you want to drop off and I'll try connecting you. I'll send you the invite. You just
No
need to
problem.
end this call. You need to go back to my story time and I will send you the invite again.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Hi, Satnam. Hello, Poonam. Hi, Akshay. I'm so sorry. I guess we're facing some technical issues and we're just waiting for Sita to join us back. I just added her. I hope she's back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi.
that's great.
Back.
Hi.
Hi.
That's great. Okay. Yeah,
No problem.
sorry. So you were saying, you were saying, continue.
No, no, I was just saying that it feels really great, not for the rank per se, because that's an additional bonus, but for the fact that so many people love what I write, so many people react on that, in a good or a bad way. They just react on that. So many people have told me that I'm writing their story, which they are not able to say or express. So that gives me a lot of happiness and joy, and it is something which I love to do. So yes, it feels great to be recognized, and even more, it feels greater to be told that I'm inspiring people to write. So it's a wonderful feeling overall. And
Which
of
is
course, a plus point, yeah, my
sorry, go
biggest
ahead.
plus point is, yeah, my biggest plus point is I get to meet people like you and make some good friends. So I'm really happy with that positive side effect. Yes.
I completely agree. It's like completely relatable to what you just said, and I know that you have. I saw the recent video, the Facebook Live that you had done when you won that recognition about being the topmost blogger for the entire year. And I know that you have more than 1,800 followers on Momspresso, and
Yes.
that's a really big deal. It's in today's life where everything is digital. We have so many options, like for entertainment, wherein people are hooked to Netflix and Hotstar and whatnot. I completely am, flabbergasted at the thought that you have 1,800 plus followers on Momspresso. So how exactly do you uh, how have you managed doing that? Because I remember when I joined Momspresso some few years ago, because a friend was writing, and she introduced me to Momspresso. I saw they have this ranking thing about the more you blog, the more people you get. And I tried doing that for quite some time, and then I just I was very impatient. I am basically very impatient. I just gave up. Okay, fine, I'm never going to reach that number one position because I just didn't find the time. But I know that you have been consistently writing so many blogs, so many stories, and the main thing is it's quality content. It's not that you're just writing for the heck of it, but it's actually quality content. So how do you get to write? What inspires you to go ahead and write so many beautiful stories that you have there, and so many interesting blogs that you have there? What's your
Yeah.
inspiration?
My inspiration is, of course, daily life. I began blogging in Momspresso basically with an intention to sort of went out and for a therapy. As you know that I had lost my second child to stillbirth, and it was a year after that I decided that the feeling was not going away. There was a lot of guilt and there was a lot of sadness inside me, and I wanted to vent that out somewhere, but not in any place, where you just went out and don't follow like what happened after that. By chance I came across Momspresso again. My two friends were also writing on that, and that's how I followed, and I found that that's a place full of moms. So people who would really understand what you have gone through without judging you for it or without passing out any other comments. So I thought, why not, this must be a good place to just write out and see what happens. And I just wrote, and that was my first blog. And you won't believe I did not write anything after that. I was like, okay, ye blog lik diya, that's it. And I didn't have any intention of becoming a blogger or anything, but
Hmm.
somehow that feeling was there. Okay, let me just write one more, let me just write one more, and slowly I started getting hooked to it. My intention was never to reach number one. In fact, I thought that's like वो तो देखना ही नहीं है, because when I started my ranking was somewhere in thousands, and I was like, oh god, that's too much, I'm not even looking at it. And I knew that there were so many established writers writing out there, and I was one small amateur writer trying to find some audience
You're
there.
just being modest.
No, I'm not. I was like that. I had no prior writing experience. It was just I wrote it there. So once it started, then I started gaining confidence, and I started participating in their challenges. I won a few of them. Of course, winning gives you a boost, but it also gave me a joy. I felt that, when I'm writing, I felt liberated. I felt like, wow, something I've written. It's like cooking. You cook and then you were like, wow, ye maine banaya, it's tasting so nice. So it's something like that. You enjoy your fruits, right? So I started writing and I got hooked to it, and I found that I was more calmer when I would write something, like until that time when I didn't write, it would go keep on constantly roaming in my mind. And I found that it helped me to improve, it helped me to become calm, it helped me make new friends, new contacts, new reading content, new type of reading. I mean, we've all read novels and stories and stuff like that, but here I was reading real life of other people, and that was very interesting. I found so many stories similar to mine, so I empathized with some, I sympathized with some. So overall, it was a beautiful journey that just started and is continuing. So I'm very thankful for that.
That's great. So it's absolutely inspiring to know that, you have kind of, out of a negative situation, you have tried to get something, gain something positive, which is really amazing. And I know personally, whatever you have gone through, it's a beautiful way, the way you remember Kavin, uh,
Yeah,
and the way you have expressed your love for him, through, having this pen name of Kavin's pen. I know that when I approached you for the first time, that, would you want to go ahead? Would you be interested if I use one of your stories as my podcast? And you were like more than willing to go ahead. And then you mentioned about, yeah, but I would like to use this name. So,
yeah,
I'm sure it's a very personal feeling, but then I also read a few blogs about how your daughter uh, bonds has bonded with
yes.
Kavin. Do you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, it's not just my daughter. I mean, as a family whole, my husband, we all talk about him as if he's still with us. He never left us. That's the feeling we have. Even today morning, we were discussing like, okay, if he was here, he would be 3 years old and running here and there. So never a day do we feel that, oh, he didn't come, because that's a natural reaction after his birth. It was so personal to us because we actually held him in our hands. Me and my husband had him with us for 4 days. People may find it strange that you have a lifeless body with you for 4 days, but for us he was our son. He was a part of our flesh. He was our blood. So we didn't feel that we were holding him. It was beautiful for us that we could actually see him with us. And in a way, and we had already decided on a name or something, so we were so very sure that he was a part of our life, and we had already made so many plans and dreams about what we will do with him. So to suddenly let go of them was a big void, and we felt that maybe we would come out of it only if we start accepting that no, he's still here with us. What if he didn't come physically, but he's always omnipresent? He's with us mentally. So we, every day he's a part of our conversation. Sometimes like a mother, I may chide him like, oh my god, you really troubled me during my pregnancy, or something like that. Or like my daughter, for her, he is the brother that didn't come physically but is still with with her. So she has his belongings. She goes through them, and she always considers, like, we are never a family of three, it's always a family of four. It's very natural to us. It's not like, okay, we remember him. No, he's always here with us. So his birthdays are celebrated just as we celebrate our birthdays. So we have a cake cutting and everything. He's not here, but I don't feel he's not here. He's still here around, maybe listening to me. So my daughter is also very attached to the fact that she was, of course, so excited to have a baby brother, but she was the one who stood up so strong in front of us and said that it's okay, he's not here, but he's still there, a part of our lives. So she was very graceful to accept that, to the extent that sometimes she tells, I think you love him more than me. She shows that sibling jealousy. So that's really beautiful, and that's really strong of her to do. So we take inspiration from her, basically.
That's absolutely inspiring, actually, Sita. And I'm glad that I asked you this question because uh, nowadays we're losing a lot of people. Frankly, I'm very sure that, whoever's going to be watching this video, even in the future, will relate to this feeling. And I hope they can, gain strength from this inspiration to go ahead and cope up with their losses. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad we discussed this. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you're writing finally. And, there are a lot of stories that need to be discovered. What do you think about, I know that you spoke to me earlier today and you mentioned about, oh, there are a few more writer friends of yours who would like to go ahead and, be a part of the podcast, and I would be glad to have them. So what is it that, you would advise the other writers to go ahead and look into in case they have to? What is basically, how would you measure success, and how would you, want other writers to go ahead and uh, be successful?
Okay. I would quote Amir Khan, success के पीछे मत भागिए, excellence के पीछे.
And
No,
yeah, I second that. Your content is complete quality content, and I think that speaks a lot, volumes about it. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. For me, writing has to be very accessible to the readers. The day you are accessible to the readers, your language is very simple, your story is very clear. You know, that's one highlight of your success. It's not about the number of views you gather, because we all know that people just click on it and one view gets registered. That doesn't really mean that they are reading your entire story. What a writer basically wants is a reaction, good or bad, disgust or hatred, anything, so that gives you that feeling, oh, he at least read what I wanted to say. The person may or may not agree with you completely, but at least he he has taken that time out to read and maybe reply to you in a good way, like, oh, I'm inspired to write something because you have written this. Oh, this is my story that you have told, and I'm glad that someone spoke for me. I'm feeling satisfied now. Or someone says this is utter rubbish what you have written. For me, to get that reaction, and to be, to somebody sharing your story on other platforms, or somebody is telling somebody, hey, you know what, this person has written this, why don't you read this, something like that. That is my measure of success, and not the number of views. And of course, I'm ranked right now. Today I'm ranked number 3. I was number 110 yesterday. That keeps on coming and going. People may say, you are saying it easily because you've been number 1. But I never wrote saying that I want to be number 1. It just came. I don't write professionally. I write. It's a passion for me. I don't earn anything out of it, because that's how it has been. Somebody did really ask me, like, why don't you try writing for money? You'll get paid well. And I was like, the day I start doing that, and somebody tells me that this is what you have to write and you will get so and so, I won't be able to do that, because what I do, what I write is coming from my heart. I'm the queen. I'm the king of my blogs. I'm the person who's going to edit it. Nobody else is going to come and tell, cut this, cut that. No, I will be the king of my content, and that's how it will be a quality content when it comes from your heart. So if you're looking for any advice on how to increase number of views, I can only say, write well, write from your heart, and write consistently. uh, One of my stories, it's a sort of a book that has got stuck in chapter number 21. And you won't believe, it's been almost a month that I still get little comments saying, you know what, we are waiting for it, and you're being very rude by not writing it. In a way, it's like a slap, like, why don't you write? But in a way, it also gives me one sort of a guilty pleasure, that, oh, they're enjoying my story and they're willing to wait for it. So that's my measure of success, you can say. Like, somebody is reading to you and somebody is reacting to you. That is what makes me successful, or makes anybody successful in my eyes. That reaction.
So, for those of you who did not get the context, Sita is speaking basically about this challenge that was there on Mom's Presso, wherein you can start writing chapters on a daily basis. So one fine day you will have your own book. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's what it
Yes.
is, right? So,
That's
so
the
yeah.
lockdown,
So you
right?
have.
Phase
So
of lockdown.
but it's absolutely amazing because I know there are a lot of writers who are attempting to do that. And so I basically, I even told you this that I looked forward to connecting with writers from Momspresso because I felt they were at a more mature age. I
Yeah.
found a lot of quality content on that blogging site. And
Yes.
initially, they were only blogs, but then I came across even short stories, which were quite amazing and quite engaging. And that's how I'm so glad that, Tejashree is one of my friends who introduced me to Mom's Presso, and she also writes. So I'm so glad today that, I have been able to make friends as you and
Yes.
a lot of them basically, and I've connected with quite a few people. So tell me, Sita, you spoke about, content and the story needs to be simple. If I have to ask you, according to you, for a story uh, to be engaging or interesting, what is more important, the plot, or do you think the characters, the way you sketch the characters in the story, bring more life to the story?
Uh, Both of them. You need a good plot for the characters to move freely about, and you need good characters, to take the plot ahead. So they are intermingled with each other. If you have a great story, but the characters are very one note, or very weakly sketched, then people will lose interest because the characters are not good. Only the story, you can only expand the story this much. If you want to write chapters of fiction, you need to have good plot to move the story ahead, and you need good strong characters because they are the ones who are going to speak up. They are the ones who are going to tell your dialogue. They are the ones who are going to feel something in the story. So they should be like that. Stories should be written in such a way that when people read, that's how I read my stories. Like when I read, I imagine them, oh, this is the tall dark kind of guy who's walking somewhere, or the beautiful damsel who is walking, something like that. You imagine colors, you imagine the sounds associated. Even I have written about it, like how to imagine a story in your mind that those people are really talking in front of you. So that kind of a thing where the reader himself gets inside the story and was like a warrior, like, oh, I can see this happening in front of me. So that kind of interest level should be maintained. So yes, a good plot, and also out of the box thinking, because plots, like if I just say one line like two boys and a girl, the story how is going to end, but try to think something out of the box. So read a lot and try to think something new. What can two boys and a girl do? Something like that. So the characters and the plot have to go hand in hand.
Like you wrote the last chapati and you sent it to me. I remember you saw one of the sketches that I had put on my
Yes.
Instagram account, and that inspired you to write a story, which
Yeah.
was so amazing. So I think that sketch was about friends, but you imagined a mother and a daughter, and
Yes.
then that conversation and the story
Yeah.
just evolved, which was really good. So I have a friend who heard one of those that same podcast, the last chapati, and his question basically was to me about oh Bara Tup Sakhar Pori Marathi. How is that your baby or is that Sita Iyer's baby? So
Uh,
Sita Iyer, I'm assuming you're from the south of India. Uh, how do you know Marathi so
uh,
well?
yeah. So that's one question that I have faced all my life. I I am a Tamilian who's from Kerala and who's born and brought up in Mumbai. So I speak five languages fluently, and
Wow.
yeah, so Marathi is one of them, of course. I am born and brought up here itself, and my father is very fluent in Marathi, and we've all grown up watching Batmya and all the Marathi serials like Zopi Gelela Zaga Zala and Marathi movies and everything.
Wow.
I still remember the title track of them. So Marathi is not alien to me, and I know that again, part of a storytelling is also to engage the audience. So imagine your characters and take the advantage of being multilingual. So if you are placing the characters, I felt that this story, I imagined that in a small chawl, a Maharashtrian chawl where people are sitting outside in the katta and all that. So I felt some language would help here. So that's purely my baby, and that's the reason I'm very fluent in Marathi. I know some Marathi songs also. So and being from the south, we already you speak two languages at home, two of the South Indian languages at home. So yeah, that comes naturally to me as well.
That's
So
so
that's
amazing. Yeah,
what.
the your pronunciation. So, all this while, I hadn't really interacted on the phone with you or had a live session so far. So, all I knew about your Marathi was the written Marathi, but I can also hear even, amazing
Yeah,
pronunciations right now from you, which I was
I,
not expecting that, but wow, that's too good.
yeah, I
Amazing.
get my blurs correct.
Yeah, that exactly was the question. Pori, Bara, how did was that your baby or was it Sita? So I told him, ki, good question, but yeah, it was Sita's. So yeah, amazing thinking process, amazing. And I love the fact that, you have experimented with reference to the genres related to Indian stories. Uh,
Yeah,
I remember reading one of your blogs about the Nilgiris, the Blue Mountains,
yes,
and that was based in South India, if I'm not wrong. And this one was again based in a Marathi family. So, great thinking. I like the way you set up your stories and, you give that background to it. And uh, the the amazing thing was that, while reading your stories as a podcaster, I already know, okay, great, I will be using these sounds during this time, and this action during that time, this part will have an echo. So I guess you kind of have the art of bringing stories uh, to life, which is really amazing. So another question, Sita, if I know that writers basically are very moody. Content quality writers are very moody because I know it takes a lot of time. I remember yesterday you spoke about you had that craving of writing, but you were not getting the time to write.
Yes.
And sometimes we just face a writer's block wherein you have the time, you sit with your laptop to type or maybe to write, but nothing just inspires you. So I know that some writers have this habit of, like for example, बाहर बारिश हो रही है, चलो कुछ poetry करते हैं. So is there any particular season or any atmosphere that really inspires writing out of you?
As you said, Barish, yes, it gives a lot of romantic ideas in your head, like poetry is the best you can describe rains with, or something like a tender romance. So I love rains. I am a voyeur of rains. I don't like to get wet, go live inside the rain. I like to watch rain from the place where I am. So yes, of course, that really you can see most of my blogs are in the month of June, July, August when it's raining. That sort of gets me going, okay, what more can I think, this romantic thing, that romantic thing, because rains always bring something good, it makes you feel good. The weather is good, it's calm, it's pleasant, and everywhere it is full of green and all the colors, so they inspire you a lot. The scenery changes, so, and less number of people on the road if you're watching from your window. So it brings about many great stories, so many movies, we've seen a lot of things happen only in rains. There has to be some rain for a badla to happen, or to fall in love, to have a fight. The possibilities are endless, of course. So yes, rain is, and of course snow, that is also another thing which I love. I was living in USA for 5 years. So, though the place that I lived, we used to get snow like only 2 days a whole of year, but we used to wait for that, and that whole thing also used to inspire me to write so many stories. You're locked inside, you can't go outside. That also brings out another aspect of the loneliness and the boredom of sitting inside. So that is another aspect of the weather. Otherwise, I'm very inspired always. I'm always thinking of new things or stories. Anything can inspire me to write words, pictures. My daughter, she is my muse, so I keep a track of whatever she has said. Kids say the darnest things, so you have your own daughter, Shravya, so yeah,
Yes,
that's a ready-made story collection that you will get, and each kid has a new story to say, so
absolutely. She's all set with her stories by Shravya already.
that, that's wonderful. Nice.
I'm sure she's watching us right now, so she'll definitely have one story to tell about this conversation later.
Nice. That's daughters are really, I mean, kids are really encouraging. I shouldn't be differentiating there. Kids are very
Absolutely.
encouraging. They're very excited that their parents get to do something cool. For them, it's cool. You're going live, you're cool. Like that.
All right. Is there any particular genre that you like writing in or you like reading?
I like reading almost all the genres, even dark or romance or sex and intimacy, fiction, thriller. The only thing I'm really little bit worried and scared about is supernatural stuff and any horror stories. That is one genre I don't like reading, nor do I like watching, because, as I told you, I start imagining the story in my head, and I'm basically a scary person. I'm okay with mystery, some thriller like who did this or who did that. In fact, there was a time in my life, in my college time, my friends and all, we used to read so many medical thrillers, one after the other. As students of science, we would get really interested, how to solve this thing, how did they get this. So that was one exciting aspect of thriller. So I love reading all kind of genres, and I also attempt to write on many of them. That really broadens my thinking, and that really makes me more confident of my writing, that okay, I can manage this also. except for Supernatural, for the time being at least.
So, and what about reading? Any particular genre that you like reading, or any particular author that you follow or are inspired from?
Uh, I'm very inspired by Jeffrey Archer and Sidney Sheldon's novels. That was the bulk of which I read during my college and my just job phase. You know, when you had time and it, I had a very young set of friends who were all enthusiastic about reading. So we would pass on the books around. So that was one time, and those two novelists really struck my mind. Jeffrey Archer for the way he would write mystery and his twist in the tales. You know, like I would I was it was very fun. The books were thick, but I would never get bored reading any of them. So I wanted to achieve, you know, if I want to write someday, I was like, maybe I should write like this, you know. So that was my thing. And a lot of Mills and Boons. That is, of course, a part of our growing up. You know, Archie's comics have a great place in my heart. I loved all the stories that were written in them. Back home, lot of Indian comics when I was a child. Chacha Chaudhary, Pinky, Sabu, whatever, name it, and we have read it all. Unfortunately, now my reading and my patience has both gone down. So I read a lot of blogs nowadays, and I keep updated. I love to read lot of news articles. You know, I literally, my as my mother says, ये paper को first page से last page तक चाट लेती है. I'm like that. So I love to keep myself updated with what's happening around. I love to do research when I write. If I'm writing on a particular topic, I want to be very sure of what I write. So I do a lot of research, maybe related to the language or something. So I like to read like that. You know, not right now. I'm not focused on any author or any genre. It's basically all articles that I get to read by my fellow bloggers, and so yeah, that's what my reading. And of course, my kids' textbooks. So yeah,
Oh, I guess
yeah,
my
yeah,
mom's been reading a lot of kids' textbooks for the last few months, years rather. Uh,
yeah.
so thank you, Sita, for sharing so many things. We do have a few people in the audience right now, and if you have any questions for Sita, you can type in, and you can send it in the comment section here while we are still online. So while you do that, what exactly is the future looking like, Sita? Do you think you're going to go ahead and publish a book very soon? Do you intend to?
I've been told by many people. The first person who told me to publish a book was my own husband. He's like, "Why don't you publish a book?" He's been after my life for that. Uh, I do have that in probably somewhere in my heart that I should publish something, but till the time I'm not confident about it, I'm not going to do it. So yes, somewhere in the future, I'm not denying the fact that may be a natural progression for me, uh, but right now, no, really, any sort of plan. I don't have any plan in my head as of how to direct my writing career. But right now, I just plan to write more and more, how much ever I can. Maybe participate in new things, you know, collaborate with other people, and take my writing to another level. So it's like, why am I not saying a book is, once I write a book, then the question will be, okay, you've written a book, now what next? So I'm like, that's the ultimate for anybody who's writing, to have a book on your name. So yes, that's a dream, but it will take time till I'm sure about it.
That's nice actually, because people basically, impatient people like me, always want to go ahead and, collect stories, put them together. So right from the beginning of this lockdown, I think I aimed at finishing one more story,
Wow.
book rather, but I just moved ahead. I just moved on, and I moved on to podcasts, and that's what is being happening now. But it's good to know, Sita, that you are planning it, and maybe next in the future, whenever you think it is the right time, you should definitely go ahead and explore this the
Sure.
publishing world.
Sure.
So I don't think we have so far any questions from the audience.
Okay.
Let's check. I'm just checking the comments if we had any questions. You are amazing. Love your stories.
Thank you.
um, we have all the best. Okay. And we have amazing thoughts, very beautiful conversation by Jay Lakshmi, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to us. And Sita, thank you so much for being on this show. I always wanted to go ahead and do something, for writers, for the field of writing. And I'm so glad that you're the first person that I could invite on the show, and we could go ahead and have this beautiful chat. I will still look forward for more sessions with you so that, we can share some more thoughts about writing for writers. If if we have an audience who are not writers and still willing to go ahead and support writers. But is there any particular message? Actually, I do have a message. Please buy books. Please do not go ahead and indulge in downloading ebooks from the free pirated websites and all that. So apart from that, do you have any other thoughts, any other closing thoughts
Yeah.
that you have?
My message to all will be that if you feel the need to express something, try to find an outlet to express it. It can be anything that you like to do. It can be painting, it can be writing, it can be singing, but don't keep your feelings inside. It's better to express them out. Who knows, you are helping others by doing that. Lot of problems in this world happen because we don't express our sadness out, express our happiness out. There's no shame in that. So accept that whatever you're feeling is a feeling, and it has to be shared out. It will help others. So just keep that in mind and don't be shy. Nothing, I mean, two people will laugh about it, but there will be 10 more who will love you for that. So keep in mind the love that you're going to receive, and just go ahead and do it. And don't think about your actions. They are going to benefit someone, and you will be rewarded in some or the other way. So just go ahead and express, I would say.
That's so nice. Thank you so much, Sita. Thank you for all those thoughts that you've shared today. And please continue to write. Please continue giving me stories from for
Of
my
course.
podcast.
Yes,
And you can definitely go ahead and have some good fellow writers that you may
yes,
have.
definitely.
Please go ahead and let me know about them so we can go ahead and have more such sessions. And we discuss more about how they write and what are their experiences, and share, with the others, whoever would like to go ahead and learn, understand, or benefit from these conversations. Thank you. So we have another comment, and that's my mom actually.
Wow.
That this is a nice conversation. Thank you so
Thank
much for listening. So thank you everyone who joined us today, and I hope we can continue with some more sessions on It's All Right, and we'll be discussing and having more such sessions with, writers as great as Sita is. Thank you.
you have much more greater writers than me with you right now. Yeah.
No, you're just being modest with that, but I'm just glad I met you. The Anju Manju Jodi is like
No one knows about
rocking.
that stretch.
Yeah, that's a secret. All
So
right, cool.
everybody
Let's then.
last message, everybody listening in, please tune in to Sneha's podcast every week. That's I mean it's a very wonderful experience to hear a story, because that's how I've been brought up. I've heard stories from my uncle and my mom, and that's what got me attracted to books and reading. So Sneha is doing a great service. Everybody, please tune into her every week and send your stories to her. She'll be giving it out a different voice to it. So yeah, make it more attractive per se, just as she is.
Wow, thank you so much, Sita. Okay,
Okay.
that was not planned. This just came from Sita, but thank you so
And
much.
I
And
speak.
thank you, Sita. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank
Yep.
you. Bye.
All right.
Take care. See you
Bye.
soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Yes.